Welcome back to Let's Play the Adventures of Batman and Robin. Last time, Batman engaged with Poison Ivy in the confines of a greenhouse and then did battle with a giant plant monster thing. And today, we investigate another threat to Gotham society. But we're not going alone. We finally get to see our sidekick Robin, who has been very conspicuous by his absence. This is the Dick Grayson version of Robin. There are actually two Robins within the animated series, and I believe the comic books, although I haven't read the comic books. Now, it may not be immediately apparent in this cutscene, but unfortunately, Robin is not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. It may not be so obvious in the series, but in the game here, well, you'll see in just a few minutes. Also, for some reason, I always read that line in my head in the Kevin Conroy Batman voice, just because. I quit the screen then. Now, Alfred said there would be some power outages, so you absolutely need to bring your flashlight. I ended up not taking anything else except the plastic explosives, and I sort of regret it later on, as you'll see. So here's our level then, a big sprawling museum, and Robin's trying to upstage us as the hero. God damn it, you're the sidekick, I'm the main star, get behind me, Satan. Robin, what did I just say? Okay, you can't really control that, it's just scripted to run down this corridor and that's it. So the flashlight, you equip it just like any other piece of equipment, and it's extremely useful because, as you can see, someone has left these mines on the floor, although they appear to be more like currents. Jump over 3 of these mines, and then you'll find a staff member, I suppose, of this museum, tied up. You untie him with the down button, and then he gives us a bit of exposition. Now, this is the first level that is not linear. First 2 levels, the Joker, Poison Ivy, that's linear progression from left to right. Here, it's a lot more complicated, and I actually kind of like that. You know, variety in levels is always good. What's strange though is this flashlight. Obviously Batman's meant to be holding it, or maybe, I don't know, illuminating the ground from his utility belt, but the sprite makes it look like the light is emanating from his own stomach. What, Bruce now has his own personal bat signal in his chest or something? That's ridiculous! Also, I like how there's a power cut for the whole museum, but the place where the lift is conveniently unaffected. I like that, although it's possible, I suppose, that that particular section of the museum could have its own power supply, but it's a little bit unlikely. What you want to do here is go into this empty room where you'll find a security guard tied up. The game doesn't tell you, by the way, but you want to go left when you get to the basement. The 3 floors are the basement, the first floor, and the top floor, the second floor as they call it. This guard has some useful information for us. He tells us exactly how many people are still left in the museum when the thief, whoever it is, struck. Although, if you've been paying attention to the video, you probably knew who it was within the first 10 seconds, just saying. The curator's been rescued by Robin, and the curator proves to be quite useful here because he gives us a master key, and now we can open all those doors that we passed and you may not have noticed when I was coming to this room. Also, for some reason, Robin knows exactly where these people are, so why he couldn't just go and save them himself, goodness knows. Also, he tells us exactly where we are, because, you know, we couldn't figure it out ourselves. Thanks, Robin, you really are the greatest psychic ever. And by the way, once Robin's finished his little speech, these 3 people become completely lifeless like statues. It's kind of unnerving, I'm not going to lie. So now the lights are back on, that can only mean one thing, the return of goons, and still jumping over mines. The reason why you needed the flashlight, as if it wasn't patently obvious, is because you can't actually see the mines in the dark. That's why you need the flashlight, so for once Alfred was telling the truth. Well, when I say for once, Alfred's actually an extremely useful butler, both in the game and in the TV series. Also, Bruce can't get into lifts, apparently, and by Bruce I mean me. Now, Robin mentioned that there were workers trapped on the first floor, both in sections A and B. The missing workers are randomly hidden behind these doors, which we go into by pressing the up button when the ID card is equipped. When you talk to the curator, it's automatically equipped to your inventory. I got lucky here and managed to find one in the very first door I went into, but those of you who are good at maths will realise that something is up. The security guard said there were 4 workers and the curator still unaccounted for. Also, that was kind of stupid taking a hit there. What I should have done is taken on the guy with his bare fists first and then dealt with the guy with a gun. I swear, sometimes I look at these videos when I'm doing post-commentary and think, what were you thinking? Now, these intercoms are very handy. We need them to contact Ron back in the security room, who can remind us the location of the workers, and I used it here to confirm a hunch that there's actually more than one worker, or there was more than one worker on this floor for this recording. As I say, the location of the workers is entirely random. Sometimes they'll all be on different floors, sometimes there'll be 2 on one and 1 on the other. It's never happened to me, but theoretically you could have all 3 on the same floor, but somehow I doubt it because that would make things just a little bit too easy. If you go in the wrong door like I just did then, you'll have to fight an enemy who appears. They're not too hard to deal with, you can just punch or kick them. Rolling works quite well as well, which you do by pressing down and then the jump button. The enemies come in 3 forms. There is the standard brawling guys with no weapon. There are enemies with handguns and enemies with machine guns. If you use a batarang or a star on them, they'll drop the weapon and just become regular fist guys. Also, did you see what I just did there? I punched that guy the wrong way and still managed to hit him. I swear, you gotta love dodgy hitbox detection. Yeah, you don't have to just kill the goons when you go in the wrong rooms. The roll works extremely well, as I say, you just get past them. You do kind of have to kill the goons to get past them here. They're more difficult to fight than in the first level, even though they don't act any differently, because of the lack of space. Honestly, it's surprisingly easy to get swarmed by them, especially when you factor in the mines that are still on the floor and respawn infinitely even after you blow them up, and they take off quite a chunk of your life if they manage to do that. We've now rescued all the workers in this section of the museum, and there's 2 ways you can get to the other section of the first floor. You can take the lift, but that's boring and I can't seem to get in it. But if you go in this door, instead of the same generic room that we've seen about 5 times previous, there's this passageway or corridor with some nice artwork. Whoever this thief is, they have taste. He or she has a lot of taste. Also, the game won't tell you this directly. By going for that little passageway, we've crossed over, that sounded overly dramatic, it wasn't meant to be, we've crossed over into section B of the first floor to try and find the remaining worker. I should point out, by the way, that the jump kick is still a very effective weapon. I really like using it. It can sometimes go wrong and you can get punched out of the air by an enemy, but it's not too bad. And honestly, the mines take on more damage than the enemies anyway, so if you have to get hit by anything, get hit by one of them. Also, something I forgot to mention with the first video, you can throw goons into each other and it will kill both of them. Both the guy you throw and the guy you hit. It's still not as good as the throw from Turtles in Time, where you can actually hit the goddamn screen with them, but it's still quite useful. You can also duck the handgun bullets shot by enemies. As for the machine gun guys, as long as you're in the air, they can't hit you, and then it's very easy to dispatch them with a jump kick. Also, if you're very close to them, they can't hit you either for some strange reason, quite possibly an oversight in their coding. Now, I'm going to be honest with you here, I both like and dislike this level in equal measure. I like the fact that it's different to what we've seen before. I like the music, it really sets the atmosphere and the tone of the level quite nice. I also like the fact that this is basically what you would see in several episodes of the TV series. Hell, this entire museum heist is based on an episode of the TV series. Unfortunately, I can't name that yet because it will give away the villain before it's revealed in the game. Although, as I say, anyone with half a brain can probably work out who the villain is. No, the major problem I have at this stage is having to rescue the hostages. It's not the act of rescuing them themselves that irks me, it's the fact that they're randomly generated. I get what Konami were trying to do, they were trying to make it so you had a different experience each time you played, but unless you get lucky and you find them within the first few doors that you explore, it's just going to get long and boring. Also, I can finally stop walking on eggshells and reveal it is indeed the penguin who is the villain of this level. I mean, there were enough clues. I mean, the first guy we saved said, giant bird-like thing. Who did that sound like? Although, it wasn't actually the penguin himself that attacked that particular staff member, it was something else. You'll see later on. So, goddammit, Robin, you had one job and you blew it. Yes, Robin gets himself kidnapped or attacked or whatever, and the penguin finally introduces himself in person, down intercom. For some reason, finishing that conversation caused the lights to go out again, so recruit your flashlight as soon as you can. We have enemies and mines to deal with in the dark here, but it's not too difficult. In fact, it's made slightly easier by the flashlight illuminating them, as long as you brought it. Alfred wasn't kidding when he said you'd need your equipment. I could have actually made this part even easier for myself by using the intercom I just passed instead of the one that I did in the end to call Robin, but I didn't want to do that for a specific reason. It's actually possible to glitch out the cutscene so it doesn't happen at all. If you take too long to talk to Robin after you've rescued the final hostage, the lights just go out anyway, and then Batman stops and says something along the lines of, something's wrong. Better get back to the security room. Unfortunately, if you choose to do this, it actually messes with some future dialogue in terms of continuity. I'll explain a bit more when we get to that part. Also, goddammit Robin, you truly are the worst sidekick ever. So the Penguin has kidnapped the Curator, again, and now we have to rescue him, again. Well, technically Robin rescued him the first time. But how do we rescue him? By going through the same old random door nonsense from before. I cut out about a minute here, but you didn't miss anything. It was just me going through doors, searching fruitlessly for the Curator, and finding enemies in his stead. Also, as you've probably guessed, the Curator's position is also randomly determined each time you play. I want to like this level of game, but you're making it really difficult for me to do that. That combination to the safe is also randomly generated each time you play, so you want to remember that number. If you forget it, you can just go to the intercom and the Curator will tell you again, but in this case it's 2368. Now I know I said back in the first video that the Joker was my favourite Batman villain of all time, and on balance I stand by that, but I'll be honest, I really like the Penguin as well, and I love the fact that he's portrayed as a high-class criminal, making him very different to the usual insane types that Batman has to deal with normally. A high-class criminal with bizarre looks maybe, but a high-class criminal nonetheless. Also, you cannot block machine gun fire in this game. I'm not sure why I tried to do that. I think my brain was still tired from earlier with all the nonsense with the randomly generated workers not spawning and enemies being in their place. Fortunately, there is a health power over to the left here if you've taken a few hits like I did. But yeah, for a villain, the Penguin, or to give him his real name, Oswald Cobblepot III, is an extremely classy gentleman. He appreciates the finer things in life, even if they don't belong to him, and he has to steal them in order to obtain them. Now we finally confront old Penguin here, but he's not quite ready to fight us face to face. Instead he sends forth this vulture to do his bidding for him. This bird actually appeared in an episode of the TV series called I've Got Batman in My Basement. It's called Scrap, and it's extremely easy, unless he decides to get stuck in my hitbox there because he's a dick. All you've got to do is just punch him on the beat 7 times and he goes down. He's also unique because as far as I know he's the only enemy in the game that can actually be damaged using the battle ring as opposed to just being stunned. But yeah, he's not difficult at all really. Once you clip Scrap's wings, just ascend these stairs and you'll finally come face to face with the Penguin. Wrong Penguin! Now at first glance, old Oswald here may not seem like a particularly challenging boss, but looks can be deceiving. Despite his portly size and unsightly looks, he's actually the toughest boss in the game so far. Check it designated by this thing. This is the Raven X-11 attack helicopter. It appeared in the episode Blind as a Bat, and it rakes the ground machine gun fire, and it's extremely difficult to get over. You have to jump over it, but the first lot you have to jump over long, the second lot you have to make short jumps to get over. And so it took quite a bit of my health off. Also, I'm surprised that Batman can throw the Penguin a man of that size that high. In fact, I'm surprised he can throw a man of that size at all. The Penguin's attacks are actually determined by the distance you're standing from him. If you're right up in his face, he will try and jump with his umbrella. If he does that, just block and then attack him. If you're a few steps away, he will try and shoot you with his machine gun, and that gives you a chance to throw a plastic explosive into his face. I could have actually been clever here and taken the stars. It would have made the fight even easier when he was trying to shoot with a machine gun. For some reason, I didn't bring them. I guess I'm just a big silly. But yeah, this is easily the most challenging boss fight of the game so far, and I came quite close to dying. Unfortunately, he went down just before I did. Take that, you foul-feathered fiend. You've pilfered your last Picasso. Anyway, that'll do it for Stage 3 of the Adventures of Batman and Robin. Join me next time to see what Stage 4 has to offer and which crook dares to rear their ugly head next. Until then, bye for now.